to the Kent Lapp Podcast.
So I'm a big fan of the Puritans. I don't know if you
read
the Puritans.
Yeah, me too. Well, right behind you, The Valley of Vision is one of my favorite.
Sure,
actually, that's my most referenced book probably of all time.
So I picked this up and put it down from time to time. But this book is called A Sure Guide to Heaven. How could you not read that, right? A Sure Guide to Heaven. That's like clickbait back in the Puritan times. So this is written by a fellow named Joseph Alleine, and he was a Puritan writer. But if you want a book that is not an arduous cover-to-cover read to get the point, he asks very pertinent questions and makes very pertinent points that basically test your heart to know if your conversion is true.
Really?
Yeah. And it's loaded.
And that's the purpose or the point of the whole book?
Yeah. So it goes from, mistakes about conversion, for example, as a chapter, the nature of conversion, what it looks like in reality, why it's necessity of conversion, why it's necessary, the marks of the unconverted. So I think I've dog-eared a page, just to say how hard-hitting some of these things are and have made me think about, man, is my Christianity weak? Is it soft? Am I not giving it what it deserves, right? The energy that it deserves. So this is the instrument. So I think he's talking about the real instrument is the word. Is the kind of the subtitle of this
Scripture. Yep.
Right. Yep. Scripture. Yeah. The word being Scripture. And it says, "Come from your knees to the sermon, and come from the sermon to your knees. The sermon does not prosper because it is not watered by prayers and tears, nor covered by meditation." So imagine how many times you come home from church and that sermon was just okay. Or, I didn't get a lot out of that sermon. Or such a typical response, let's just go to lunch, kind of thing.
Sure.
This, to me, kind of lands on me it's not our pastor's fault. He delivered the word that was on his heart. It is our fault that we did not soak that sermon and prayer and condition our own hearts to receive that scripture and then come home and cry over it and meditate over it. So it's just a level of seriousness that I feel like we don't have today, but that's why I just love the Puritans. It's just
I agree. What's
the gravity around it.
Yes, I totally agree. What's the copyright on that book? When was it written?
Oh man, let's see.
That's the first thing I do with any book.
1671.
No way.
First published
1671. So 1671 was, you had the Great Awakening kind of coming through, the Northampton revival and all of that, kind of hitting the Northeast in America in the early 1700s, I think. 1740, I believe.
1749.
Yes, maybe.
The Great Awakening, is it?
Yeah, yep, yeah. It was
Jonathan Edwards and
Jonathan Edwards in the Northeast, and that really kind of was just a wildfire, I believe, around 1740, 1750.
Okay, yeah.
So this is
1671, yeah.
Oh, man.
It's beautiful.
That is beautiful. What other books by the Puritans have you read or would you recommend?
I like Jonathan Edwards a lot, of course, classic. I also I have a book that is called Stories of Revival. It's a big, humongous book. But I just love the stories that are retold or, written down about what conversion looks like during the Great Awakening or during some of these revivals.
Yeah, me too.
It's just so fascinating. So that's the most recent kind of book I've read. But I think I pick them all up and I think they're all just great. Yeah.
There's probably the most well-known, when you say book written by a Puritan, was
Pilgrim's Progress?
Yeah.
John Bunyan?
Yeah. He was a Puritan, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's probably the most well-known. But what I see with the Puritans is I picture them as highly intellectual, very smart, disciplined, with a heart for God, though. I think when people think intellectual, smart, disciplined, a lot of times cold, I don't want to be just part of that. But they were passionate for their faith. Like they went hard after God.
Yeah. They were serious. Yeah.
They were serious. They were serious Christians.
Yeah. And sure in their conversion. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It also too, like, I think about this a lot. Like, it feels like when you scroll through Twitter or when you're around your buddies, or maybe not, but people feel soft these days.
Yes.
And it really bothers me. Like, not that I'm not soft, because I'm sure I am, but I really enjoy the rugged individualism and the pain tolerance level, whether it's physical or mental or just you're just strong, you know?
Yes.
I feel like we've lost that. And I think
I agree.
Puritans spiritually do that really well.
Yes.
And they're just rugged just because the times required you to be rugged.
Exactly.
But I feel like we've lost that.